Okay, we have quite the big week coming up when it comes to all things gaming. We have the Tokyo Game Show 2025 and a possible state of play this week, and that could have already been announced by the time you see this video. But what does this mean for Final Fantasy and Square Enix? Can we expect anything new? Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about it and have a bit of a discussion. So with that all being said, what is up guys, Jen here, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. If you want to support the channel, hit the like button. If you want to stick around for some more Final Fantasy and Square Enix content, you're already in the right place. Just hit that subscribe button. So I'm just going to address this straight off the bat. I don't really think we're going to see anything new from Square Enix this coming week, either in the State of Play or the Tokyo Game Show, but I am open to talk about some possibilities that could happen, because we got Dragon Quest VII a couple of weeks ago and that came out of left field. Even though there was a small rumor about it, it was unexpected to see at the Nintendo Direct. So let's dive into it, and the thing I want to start off with straight off the bat is a game that we've not talked about for a while, but we've spoken about many times. It is a game that's celebrating its 25th anniversary year, and that's the Final Fantasy IX Remake. I could go back through all of the things that we've talked about when it comes to the Nvidia list and all the other things that have built up to the rumors of there being a Final Fantasy IX Remake. I can still see it happening, and I think we might see it within the next year, but I don't think we're going to see it this week, though I'm really not sure when we might see it. If anything, it could be the Game Awards, or it could be something that happens quite quickly. They announce it at the beginning of next year and it comes out by the end of next year. But the Final Fantasy IX Remake is always there in the distance. It's not something I want to make a video on until we got some real good news or real good rumors to go off. At the moment there is nothing, so I don't think it's going to be happening, but me myself, I'm hopeful and kind of coping, I guess you could say. So let's move on to another possible Final Fantasy that might happen. But before we dive in, let me tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is a website where you can get thousands of Steam games at incredible prices, whether that's a Final Fantasy or an RPG. You can find it all here. All you got to do is use my link down below, and then you have access to thousands of games at incredible prices. I also have a giveaway as well for you to have the opportunity to win any game off the website. Again, go to the giveaway link down below, click the orange participate button, and then you're in for a chance to win. Not only will you be supporting the channel, but you'll also be saving money. So thanks to Instant Gaming, and let's get back into the video. Next is one that, again, we've spoken about many times. It's one that I've seen that a lot of people want, even though it is available on some modern platforms, and that is the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy. I think it's about time for it to be accessible on more platforms. I'm surprised it isn't available on the PS4 or PS5, even though you can play it through Xbox backwards compatibility, and there are those PC ports that are not up to scratch as well that you can play. I think we are in the time period where just a simple remaster with a couple of bells and whistles, the typical boosters that we see from Final Fantasy games, would be nice. I don't think it's a game or a set of games that we need to see too many changes to. It could be a quick announcement and quick release, and I think it will probably be something that's looking more likely next year. Next up, we have Kingdom Hearts 4. Honestly, we got the news, and I think that might have been a reaction to closing the mobile game of a couple of screenshots. I think that they have learned from their mistakes in announcing Kingdom Hearts far too early, having something special for that anniversary year during that orchestral concert, but I don't think that they're going to be talking about Kingdom Hearts 4 until they are ready to give you the marketing and the release date. So again, this is something that I think is more likely to see this time next year and have that marketing cycle start up, or at least have a year of release, because I'm sure Kingdom Hearts fans do not want to see something and be left waiting again. So I think they know that, and they'll show something when they're ready to follow it up. When it comes to Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, I think that's everything. When it comes to other Square Enix properties, they could do something that's out of the blue. There could be another Saga game. There could be I don't think there's going to be another Dragon Quest, but there could be something that could catch us off guard. Maybe an old IP might be getting a remaster or something along those lines. I think that could be likely of something that we don't know about that we will hear about at TGS. But apart from that, when it comes to new things, I don't think there's going to be very much to go off from the rumored and speculated titles from Square Enix and Final Fantasy. So let's move on to what we are getting and what I can probably expect. Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Switch 2 and Xbox. It's getting a pretty heavy marketing cycle. They're going through the world, the characters, factions, and they're really doing a lot to build up to this release. And this is making me think that, hey, they're going all in. They want everyone on this journey. They'll be doing the same for Rebirth. And I truly believe, and I'm saying it right now, and you can quote me when the time comes, Part 3 is going to be coming out day and date on all systems. Whether you have worries of performance issues because of the differences on systems, I'm sure this is something that Square Enix is definitely going to think about. Maybe it might add a little bit more time on to the schedule, or maybe they may already have it covered from what they're learning on putting Remake and Rebirth on the Switch 2. But when it comes to Part 3 itself, will we hear any news here this week in the State of Play or at Tokyo Game Show? I don't think that is going to be something that is happening. I am putting my bets on the Game Awards for at least a title reveal. If we don't see anything this year, then next year is going to be the year, because 2027 seems to be the consensus of where everyone's at for Part 3. So we're in a year window of hearing something, but I know that we all want that title reveal. We want it to say Final Fantasy VII Return, and it's going to, but I think that's at the Game Awards. So I don't think we'll see anything Final Fantasy VII related here. Maybe a Dirge of Cerberus remake. No, I'm kidding. There isn't going to be that. It'll just be Remake on the Switch 2, and that's all we'll get. We'll probably get a few more impressions and a few more gameplay videos. Of course, Final Fantasy Tactics, the Release Chronicles, is coming out next week at the time of making this video, so expect some more in-depth gameplay previews of that at Tokyo Game Show. I don't think we'll see anything in the State of Play for that. Moving on, let's talk about Dragon Quest, and I am absolutely loving all the Dragon Quests we're getting. We've got Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake coming out next month, so I expect maybe a little bit more gameplay from that. I think they've revealed quite a lot. Dragon Quest 2 seems to be quite the beefy boy. From what I've played in my preview and the coverage that I've got, I'm very excited to play this game and get a video out for you when that time comes. But Dragon Quest 7 came out of nowhere. There was a small little rumor about it. It looks like it's pretty much done. We're probably going to get an extensive look at the gameplay during Tokyo Game Show. So again, that's something I'll cover as and when we get it. Will we get anything else from Dragon Quest 7? No, they've got the release date, so they're just going to be starting the marketing cycle for that game. When it comes to any more Dragon Quest, I'm actually quite hopeful. From the digging that I did when we had the Dragon Quest 7 rumor, there was also some Dragon Quest 10 embedded in that somewhere. So that could be a possibility of seeing. We know that Dragon Quest 10 is getting some kind of coverage anyway at TGS because, of course, it is a Japanese exclusive game at the moment. Could they say that it's coming to the West here? They're bringing out a mobile game. They've got 3 Dragon Quest games coming out in the next 5 months. Dragon Quest seems to be quite the thing that they are pushing, and I would love to see Dragon Quest 10 come to here in the West in English. I know there's ways you can do it already, but having it in official capacity, even if it's the offline version, I think a lot of people would appreciate that, and I think that could be something that might happen. And then looking at the rest of what they're showing off, the games that we already know about, there's Killer In. I've not had the chance to play yet. I am interested, though it's not something that I'm eager to get into, but it's something I'll definitely try out. Very interested to hear your opinions on that game in the comment section down below. But then we also have Octopath Traveler 0. What a beefy game that's going to be. I expect to see more gameplay on that and see what that's all about. And I think that's everything that Square Enix is showing. I don't think that they're sealing anything. I don't think they've got any more cards to show this week. If anything, it's going to be something that's going to catch us off left field. It's not going to be something that we expect, like a Final Fantasy IX remake, Final Fantasy VII Part 3, or something along those lines. I think it's going to be an IP that we think, oh wow, they're bringing that back, or oh, they're remastering that. I think it's going to be along those lines, or maybe a sequel to a game that they've already done or was successful. Maybe another Romancing Saga style remake that we got from Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven, something along those lines. Maybe doing doing Romancing Saga 3 or going back to the first, something along those lines. I suspect that we're not going to get anything new when it comes to new IP or a new game completely. I think that they're in this transitional period still, and we're seeing that with the turnout. At the beginning of the year, we didn't know anything that was coming out except Dragon Quest 1 and 2 and a possibility of Final Fantasy 7 going out onto other systems. Now we're getting towards the end of the year, there's a blowout. Though it might be remakes and remasters, these are good quality games to be invested in. They're getting their IPs out there to get the fuel in the fire ready for the next entries of all of these series. So it's too early to tell if they're going to bust out any new IPs here, but I do think that we might get something new this week. But I think that their schedule up to April is pretty stacked already. We'll see what they might have on the table. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts in the comments down below on what you might be expecting. But apart from that, we're going to see a lot more of things that we already know about and get our excitement up even more. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to visit Instant Gaming if you want games at incredible prices. And until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.